Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to be playing some Wizard101, starting out on a new death character. I believe I named him Luke Obsidian Lord or something like that. I don't know. Names don't really matter. Let's get started.
Normally, this is where you'd be enrolled and sent to your classes. But times are not normal. There's some kind of supernatural incursion in Unicorn Way that must be dealt with immediately. I wonder. You've demonstrated such potential, I think practical experience will serve you better than lectures. Care to put your talents to the splendid? Time is of the essence, so I'll teleport you there directly. Seek out Private Connolly, the Wizard City Guard.
Probably my least favorite change that they made to the game was teleporting you directly to Unicorn Way.
Did you see the symbol above Private Connolly's head? That means he has something important to tell you. Go speak with him.
Alright, let's talk to Conley.
What's that? You say the headmaster sent you to help us? Well then, you're just a person, or wizard, I've been waiting for. This used to be a pleasant street, but we've been invaded by hordes of strange creatures. The guards and I have been doing our best to push the creatures back, but we're no match for their dark magic, especially the undead. Maybe your fancy wizard magic will do the trick. Go battle a few of those.
To battle the monsters, run up when you get
If you can drive away some of these lost souls, we'll be in your debt.
He's gonna give me a whole 5 gold to do this. That is poggers. What on earth? Yes, and then they use a myth attack, or whatever. Sorry, I'm just admiring the ignorance of gameplay. I can't blame them, they're probably brand new to the game. Doesn't really matter what I use. We'll use a fire cat, why not? So starting out, I do have some gear that I'm going to be pulling out of my my shared chest whenever I do get the chance to. Should be good. Give me a little bit of head start on damage. Honestly, we'll probably be wearing it until I think Marleybone, if not further, which is pretty ridiculous. So. Depending on how tedious the early game is as far as defeat and collects and just the amount of enemies you have to defeat, I might be pausing recording and going ahead and killing them and then finishing up the quest, you know, because realistically I think that if I weren't to do that, the playthrough would be about 10 times longer than what it should be, though I know that some people enjoy you know, they enjoy the combat, watching the combat, so I might keep it in, but we'll just have to see how it goes. Oh shit, I skipped the dialogue there. Bad habit. This is another change that I really didn't like, is Saren's voice actor.
I couldn't help but notice how you took down those lost souls. I have to say, I'm quite impressed by your spell-slinging skills. When I heard there was trouble on Unicorn Way, I rushed right over. But then I saw what's out there. Skeletal pirates.
He's impressed by the fact that I casted a fire cat and a dark fairy, but he's using the level 50 life wand.
No, thank you. Pirates give me the heebie-jeebies.
Excuse me, did I hear you two talking about...
It would be good to know exactly what we're up against. Do you think you could battle a few skeletal pirates? Great! I'll mark them. Ooh,
I don't care, Gamma. I know everything there is to know about this game. Well, to a certain extent. Alright, so we're back. Just to give a rundown of the gear that I'm running. we have a full Goth Fairy set. So these aren't really important. These will get swapped out pretty quickly. They just give a little bit of power pip chance, which is pretty good in the early game. This does give a Starblade, which increases to Life, Death, and Storm, which is going to be good. That'll give us 2 blades to start out with. As my pet does give an extra blade, a Death Blade. This is a 4 crit, 6% damage pet. I did not intend for this pet to have 4 crit stats. That's just how it played out. I wanted a little bit of crit, but that's just how it played out. My mount does give 1% damage. My shoes and my jacket both give 4% damage. My shoes give a little bit of resist, as well as power pip. This gives resist with accuracy, which honestly I'd rather take accuracy over power pip. This gives 3% with 1 resist, 1 pip chance. And then we've got 3% damage with 1 extra pip, which is going to be really big. Starting out, we got 21% damage, which, you know, it could be a little better if I had a triple-double pet, but, you know, you can only do so much. Now, is it necessary to have all this stuff to start the game? Absolutely not. Honestly, probably a waste of money. But I have a bunch of extra crowns, so I was like, why not? Another thing to note, stuff like this mount, I was super lucky getting. And 1% damage is not going to be that big in the long run. I like using it on characters like this because it is kind of good to have, you know, tooth and nail damage, or what do you call it? Just, you know, every bit of extra damage you can in the early game, because that is where you'll need it. Late game, you know, you've got damage in mounds. For my deck, right now all we have is the Dark Sprite for our main deck, but I do have the 2 blades, my Death Blade and my Star Blade, and then I also have a Colossifrog, which I'll be using for most major combat, especially since I do have the wand that gives me the extra pip. I am running a different deck, the Grimdark Jester deck. This is another thing that I got from PAX. So open packs at your, you know, own discretion. I personally don't care too much about my crowns. I'm not going to use them for a whole lot of other stuff. The only thing we might do, rather than having the Goth Fairy a theme, is we might grab Heartsteel and run Heartsteel probably until like level 50, because that's really where, you know, having that resist all the way through is going to be really big. We're going to see how much damage I can do with the Dark Sprite and 2 blades. But I just think that having good damage in the early game is essential to good gameplay. And honestly, with how much crit I have, I'm pretty much guaranteed to crit, as far as I can tell, against any enemy. Or I think they changed the crit system. I'm gonna have to check and see what my crit percentage is. Yeah, see, we didn't crit there. Still did 184, that's not too bad. I think that will one-shot Rattlebones, which is honestly huge. Okay, hold on. So, I can't even see my crit right now, because I don't have that stat page unlocked. I don't think you unlock it until after Crocotopia. Alright. I should be able to hover over him, though. Yeah, 2% crit. I think, so if I remember, the way that crit works now is you will crit based on your level. Your percentage is based on what level you are, but your rating determines how likely you are to go through, like, versus their block. So it's kind of weird and convoluted, honestly. Back in the day, it used to just be, you know, crit rating determines. It's a number that, as it goes up, increases your crit chance. So you used to feasibly be able to get 100% crit. Now the max is 95%, which is kind of lame because it caps out at level 95. I mean, 5% isn't that big of a deal, but that chance to not crit is a make or break situation, especially in the late game. But what's this dude got to say to this?
More than us to be sure, but ye be no match for that which rattles in the darkness.
Yeah, that which rattles in the darkness, huh? Oh, Rattlebones. Classic boss. Classic boss. Honestly, I'm kind of digging the look, especially with the red hair. He's kind of a G. I'm gonna be real.
Oh, wow!
I was gonna go with this hat for my Stitch, which is kind of creepy. I got the full outfit. Damn it, I skipped the dialogue again. But Unicorn Way, classic, absolute classic. They did update the textures. They added all these barriers with Rattlebone's face on it, which, you know, the fact that we don't know who the guy is, even though his face is plastered all over Unicorn Way, is kind of poor investigative skills. And honestly, poor common sense on the part of all the guards and the wizards. But I don't know if they actually go out far enough to see the banners, so that might be why. Really good introduction in the game, though. You know, it gives you just enough combat and introduction to keep you interested.
Brings you into our hedge maze?
I am here to steal your stuff, Lady Oriole. Give me all of your doubloons. I'm a pirate.
But now I see the light within you. We've much to discuss.
I have no light within me. It is only
The
darkness.
evil forces that loosed the undead upon Unicorn Way have also corrupted my precious fairies. Please, you must help them. Vile bone cages have appeared along Unicorn Way. They are filled with a mysterious dark magic that corrupts all fairy folk who venture near them. Dispel the dark magic in the bone cages, then bring me fairy dust from those it corrupted. It may reveal to me who it pains me to say it, but the only way to obtain the fairy dust is to wrestle it from. Once you've dispelled the bone cages,
Time to
and
whoop some
collected the
dark fairy
dust,
ass
return to me immediately.
on account of
Good luck, young
saving them,
May the
of
light
course.
guide you.
I don't know why I clicked on that person. I have a bad habit of judging people's gear. Gotta open some bone cages first. These little things inside there that float away, those are fairies. Can't really tell because they don't give them a texture, but it's whatever. Maybe open that wooden chest. I'm gonna get it. Or maybe that's a new one. I have been playing this game for the better part of, oh my goodness, how many years now? Like 15 years. And you know, if there's one thing I can say about it, it's consistent. I think the story writing only gets better as you play the game more. I don't know how that holds up past Imperia, but you know, I think that Wizard City through Imperia is, you know, phenomenal storytelling. Wizard City is a little mediocre. Honestly, everything until Mushu is kind of mediocre in the first arc. I really like Mushu, Dragonspire is a slog, but it's really good exposition. Tells us a lot about, you know, some of the great, what do you call them? The Titans. Oh my goodness. Arc 2 is really where the game shines, I think. I think that, you know, they put their best into it and it came out really well. Especially with them bringing back the main villain of Arc 1 even after you defeat him. And then again at the end of Arc 2. Like they bring him back in Azteca and then they bring him back again for his own dungeon. And honestly, he's a total badass in that dungeon, so I don't really have any complaints about that. They probably brought him back because he's such a good villain in general. Goodness. They're shooting me. They're shooting me. What am I gonna do? They're shooting me. Alright. I think what we'll do is we'll finish up Unicorn Way. We'll probably wrap up with the what do you call them? Let's see. What do you call them? I don't know what you call them. The Ravenwood introduction. It just kind of introduces all of the teachers and whatnot. Tiny voice calling my name.
Thank you for helping us, kind wizard. Your courage and benevolence will not soon be
They changed her voice too. I don't really have any complaints about that though. Honestly, the voice before was very annoying.
Your reputation as a hero to the fairy folk, young wizard. With the bone cages dispelled, I can help the other corrupted fairies in time. Now we must root out who is behind this attack. Please, let me examine the fairy dust. Is that? But how? The fairy dust displays scarred rattlebones. In life, a ruthless tyrant who was banished to the underworld for his crime.
I do like that they gave Rattlebones a little more lore here. He was kind of just a dude who took over a tower and cursed the street under Malistair's command before, but you know, telling us like, oh, he was a ruthless tyrant who was banished to the underworld. You know, that provides a little more. Saren knows Unicorn Way. Yeah, he does.
All I see is a tower ringed in bones. Siren Nightchant knows Unicorn Way. Perhaps you must hurry. Here, take this broom. It will allow you.
This is where you get your very first mount.
Now fly and make
Pretty
a light
great,
guide.
pretty great.
You've received a temporary mount that will expire after 1 day. You can also
Shut up, Gamma. Something, you know, I do love that they increased the temp mount to 40. Previously, it was one of the only mounts in the game that was 20%, which is just not good, you know? I don't know what I'm doing. So they've definitely made some good changes. I think that a lot of the visual revitalization, you know, helps with the game. I actually have a mark over there. But some of the charm is lost on me. Damn it, I keep skipping dialogue. It's alright. I gotta search for Rattlebones. Unicorn Way, you know, as an introduction, you used to have to give this slip to the guard out front, and he would say, seems legit, and it was the best thing ever. But now you just get teleported in, and it's pretty lame. But I still love it. I still love the game.
Good work, my thrall. This could
My thrall.
Now we
First name drop, Malstair. Actually, I think he gets name dropped in the tutorial, but that doesn't really count because nobody plays the tutorial. Combat break. We are going to use Colossifrog. We're going to double blade Colossifrog. No doubt, no doubt. Oh, they're blading too. Wait, that costs... Oh my gosh, that costs a pip. I didn't even know that. That's not good. I do have power pip chance though, so I could theoretically get a power pip and then Colossifrog. Don't see that happening, but could happen. Rattlebone's the final boss of Unicorn Way. Good way to wrap up a street, honestly. Wizard City is pretty short. Honestly, I don't know how I want to do the episode structure. I might split it up into, 5 episodes because I do have that option. There's, 4 streets on the 5th street, or on the 5th episode. We'll wrap up with Lord Nightshade and go ahead and do what's the Grub? The mission for Grub. That's a really good XP. He's a pretty tough boss, but it's a really good way to end out Wizard City and introduce us to some combat in Croc.
As you walk back onto Unicorn Way, you can't help but notice that the dark magic that was previously...
See, and then they take away the barricades. I do like that. Like, I like that they kind of plastered him all over the street, showing that he had control, and then they took it away. It's, it's not bad. Another change they made to the game that I really enjoy. Marks are permanent, so if I make a mark, I can immediately go back to it as many times as I want. Good for questing.
The darkness plaguing Unicorn Way is... With Rattlebones defeated, the guards should be able to drive away the rest of the undead horde.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Ooh, that tome looks important. You should take it to the library in the Commons. Harold Argleston will know what to do with it.
Mr. Argleston. We meet the man himself. He actually does play some pretty important roles in the story. Well, I don't know, maybe not, but he introduces us to Aquila, and Aquila is probably the coolest place in the game, so I'll give him that. Definitely one of my favorite places. I think we'll try and hit 30 before we get to Marleybone so that we can go into Marleybone with our Senator gear. Or hopefully our Zeus gear, because, that'd be pretty dope. Get that 10% damage wand from
I'm Harold Argleston, Master Librarian
Olympus. Harold Argleston, Master Librarian Extraordinaire. That's a long title for a librarian.
Tyrant who is going to give it to his dark master, Malastair? I do believe this is a matter for Headmaster Ambrose. You should take the tome to him at once. But before you go, allow me to reward you.
Treasure cards are press P to open during combat. Remember, unlike a regular spell card,
Sprite treasure card. You know what's crazy is they used to give you fairy with Lady Oriole so that you could heal yourself against Rattlebones. They don't do that anymore, which I think is kind of dumb, But not like you really need it anyway. Rattlebones is not a difficult boss. I have actually died to him though, so
I'm anxious
it's
to
not
hear
great.
your update on Unicorn Way. Evil darkness summoned from the underworld. Oh, Rattlebones, you say? But he was banished centuries ago. How could he? Oh,
What's that want?
Malastair. Of course. But why? Rattlebones for searching the Unicorn Way archive for this tome? Well, let me see what it is. On the trail of the Order of the Fang. While I do that, you need to attend to the matter of your... If you are to
Death
truly
trap!
master
Let's
your
go.
magical talents, I'll send you now to Mr. Lincoln, our registrar in Ravenwood. He will introduce you to our professors and help you begin your studies.
From time to time, many
Always follow the quest arrow. Some people like to turn it off. While I do know the game very well, there are times where I just, you know, it's a lot easier to look at the arrow and follow it than try and remember how to get to places.
You must be the new student I've heard so much about. You made quite a name for yourself on Unicorn Way.
I sure did. I took down Rattlebones.
I'm Mr. Lincoln, and I just have some quick paperwork to get you enrolled. Signature here, initials there, and a lock of hair here.
A lock of hair.
Are you
You gonna
allergic to
clone me?
unicorns or eyes of newt? Good. That takes care of that. To complete your...
Welcome! I am the professor of the Ice School, where we teach thaumaturges to endure like permafrost.
While in the Storm School, we instruct young diviners to strike hard, fast as lightning, defeat the enemy before they know what hit them.
It's absolutely true.
Pyromancers of the Fire School prefer to care. Commanding the elements is indeed impressive, but Theurgis of the Life School seek harmony with nature, which gives us the power to heal.
Sorcerers also seek harmony, symmetry in all things. Balance is unique magic from Crocotopia, which supports and enhances the other school. Fireballs and flowers. Fresh magic that all wizards summon monsters
You know,
to fight
Myth
for
is a really powerful school, especially late game, but I can't help but think that it is so lame to use summons.
Not exactly a professor. We haven't had a real death professor since the last one turned evil and destroyed the school, so...
Yeah. So the main villain of Arc 1 is Malistaire. He was previously the Death Professor, and obviously, according to Malorn, he turned evil and destroyed the school.
But I can get you started at being...
Yes, sir. Get me started.
Our death spells drain health from enemies, damaging them, and healing ourselves at the... As the official
correct.
interim teacher of death magic, I can get you started as a necromancer. Let's just get out of the way.
I wonder if the order changes based on what school you are.
To the crater where the death school used to be. Until Headmaster Ambrose finds a replacement for Malistaire, you can come to me. I can even teach you advanced death spells when you reach the right level of experience. Probably. I'll let you know when that is. For now, I've got one spell for you. Ghoul. Train it, then head...
You're already some spells like this
Shut up,
take
Gamma.
more than one pip to cast. To use it, pass it.
Yeah, he only trains you up to Vampire, which is level 16, and then you go to the secret tunnel. That's where you meet the secret guy, who's kind of kooky.
You've met your professor. Great. You can train
He is
spells
not
for your
my
school for
professor.
free,
He is
but to
interim.
learn other
I'll have
school
you know.
spells, you must spend
I think that
training.
Death is probably the coolest school thematically, especially with the drain,
Here,
life drain.
I'll give you one now.
Heal
Use
back,
it to start
but
training a secondary school. And if you change
Yeah.
your mind later, see me to buy back training points.
yes, buying back
Anyway,
training
now that
points
you're enrolled,
crucial,
you get
but
your own
only do
dorm
it
room,
whenever
where
it's free for
items to
member,
decorate
because
however you
otherwise
want.
it's
This is the
stupid
boys'
expensive.
dorm here, and this is the girls' dorm. Once you get settled in,
I have only ever made male characters, so I had no idea that the dorms change based on what gender you are in the game. And I think that's a little weird. But you know what? It does make sense. What is that mountain called? That thing looks ridiculous. What the heck? Hold on. Am I... Standard Mount? What does that mean? That's a crazy name. Oh yeah, you get training points that let you train the secondary schools. I'm gonna hold off on training them because I don't really need anything right now. I don't think you actually need anything from secondary schools until pretty later, like pretty far later. I think like level 20, level 25 or something. Merle.
You're officially enrolled now? Then let me formally welcome you with this new...
Oh yeah, this is where you get fairy. I forget. I forgot that.
Let me also
Or
introduce
pixie.
you
Yeah.
to our resident advisor, Abby K. Doodle. She can tell you all about our many electives. But on to more serious matters. It seems the troubles in Unicorn Way were but the tip of an evil iceberg. While you were gone, chaos erupted all over the city. Undead
It's so
run
funny that
amok
it's
in the
while we
streets.
were gone,
Our former allies
and we were only
have
gone
turned
for
against
like in game probably like 20 minutes to meet all those people and get to know them, and like do our registration stuff, and like chaos just completely erupted all over the city. Seems a little weird, dude.
must be behind this.
Seems a little weird.
Your victory on Unicorn Way makes you the perfect person to deal with this crisis. I foresaw you might save Wizard City. Now go to Old Town and talk to Sergeant Mulgoon.
The goon!
immediately.
Mulgoon!
We set things right and discover Malister's goal in all this. Good luck.
One last word before you embark on your quest. I've tried to answer most of the questions you'd have, but there is much more if you haven't looked and click on the...
Alright, the goon. Now, I don't... I don't think this person...
You gotta try electives. They're a great break from dueling, and you can get all... Oh, you just have to let me show you around Wizard City.
I'm
and all
okay.
the
I want to say that she's good, like a tutorial guide for, like life skilling, which is, you know, like fishing and whatnot. I'm not going to be talking to her. There's really no reason for me to. Though, whenever I do decide to complete all of the quests in Wizard City, I will go ahead and talk to her. Goth Fairy. We are going to stitch into the Jester set because I think it looks super cool. Look at that. Total badass, honestly. Honestly. That hat is massive, though. Oh, and there's a little bit of clipping whenever you move. That's fine. I need to find a good stitch for my wand. Although, it kind of works. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep it. But, as far as it goes, I think that will wrap up today. Next episode, we're going to be tackling the 3 streets, probably taking them one street at a time, because the stories are a little long on those. We'll figure out where we want to start when we get there. Usually Triton's the place to go. Triton Avenue. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more from the series, please let me know by leaving a like, putting a comment, and if you do enjoy the content that I'm putting out, then feel free to go ahead and subscribe. Until next time, I've been Dade, and hope you have a wonderful day.